First item for this evening is to talk about the upcoming summit. Email went out from the Admiral on the 6th of July, so a couple days ago. And the website is emilitarytacmentoring.com. So I'm on the website right now, and you can see the countdown is going. Take advantage of the early registration, and we'll just go through the schedule briefly. So on the Friday night, the 31st of July, reception, and that should be at the Navy League headquarters in Clarendon. And then Saturday, starting at 8 o'clock, that'll be the same location. And you can see we'll have the Admiral kick it off with the year in review. We'll get an update from the foundation, then a strategic plan briefing, and then feedback from the chapters. We have a keynote for lunch. And then you can see just the rest of the sessions for the afternoon, and looking to finish up around 1700. So full day on the Saturday. For those that are in person, right there at the Navy League headquarters, which is in Clarendon here in DC or Virginia, Arlington, Virginia. Okay. So any questions about that? Admiral, did you want to add anything else?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Biscuit, for setting this up, and thanks for inviting me as well. Good evening, everyone, and really appreciate you, Biscuit, teeing up the schedule and kind of talking people on the target with respect to the summit. As many of you know, last year, following January 17th, we made a deliberate pivot from our usual symposium format for obvious reasons. You know, it became an unsafe environment for active duty personnel, and we just didn't want to try to do things the same way, especially without the backing of the chiefs of the services as well as the service secretaries. And as a result, there are lots of really, really good things that came out of that pivot. One of which was this summit. The e-military mentoring platform, if you aren't familiar with it, that was actually built by our own Captain Mary McAdams, Dr. Mary McAdams, along with Quan, and it's been in existence for several years. It's just that we've never tapped into it. But this portal is something that we're going to lean on going forward, and it works extremely well. Last year, we tried to do an in-person and a virtual uh, presentation as well. Learn some lessons, and you'll see them implemented this time so that we can also conduct a hybrid presentation. So I think all of that's going well. We've made some really good deliberate decisions on the agenda. My desire is to make sure that we totally focus on veterans and not only make NNOA a stronger stronger organization, but we also stood up the foundation last year. And a lot of you have heard about the National Naval Officers Foundation with its own 501c3 and its own president, Captain Tony Swain. Since they opened their bank account in December timeframe, we've actually eclipsed $100,000 in fundraising. And so the goal with the foundation is to have that financial backing and support for NNOA that we used to get from the services. And bottom line is that it's going well, and we're going to continue to flush out our lines of operation and how we're going to actually coexist together and help one another out. So that's going well, and you're going to see a lot of recruiting efforts there. I'll take the blame for that because I used to be a Navy recruiter back when I was a lieutenant. But the bottom line is we need the talents that you all bring to continue keeping these all volunteer organizations moving forward. So just envision it as a watch team replacement plan campaign where we're trying to get some other folks to really step up and step into some of these roles. The other thing that you'll see on the agenda is a detailed discussion by Tom Abernathy about our strategic plan. And over the last year or so, he stood up a strategic planning committee, and we applied a lot of the things that many of us have learned over the course of our military careers to tackle hard problem sets. And we walked away with 5 different lines of effort. We'll talk a lot more about that during the symposium. And then also we've got a session where we actually have the chapters dial in and we hear from the chapter officers and the presidents and their officers. And more importantly, more than them hearing from national and getting guidance from me and the BOD, the most important aspect of that, which I thought worked really well last year, was to have them share best practices. And again, this is exactly what we did when we were operational, whether it was a squadron or a shipboard, a waterfront, a hospital, or whatever the case may be. We all took best practices and we put them in play where they applied. So we're going to do a lot of that over the course of the summit, and certainly looking forward to seeing you all there as we step through it. And I'll pause there if there are any questions at all about the summit. Over. Okay, hearing none. Just tying in the last little bit of NNOA business, you may have also seen the NNOA communique about elections. And yes, I am term limited. And yes, I am seeking someone to carry the torch and take over as president. And all of that will be announced, is planned to be announced during the summit. We're going to do all of our voting electronically and fill the positions that need to be filled and then make the announcement towards the end of the summit. But all is on track for our organizations. And I know with this group, we don't have to worry about it as much. But some of the things I've heard from some of those who are active duty is, well, is NNOA still alive? Are we still doing business, et cetera, et cetera? And the answer is yes. Yes, we are absolutely doing business, but we're not doing business as usual. We've evolved to meet the challenges of the day, so to speak. So we're continuing to move onward and upward, and we look forward to at this point we're about 54 years old, so we look forward to the next half century or so as we continue to make a positive mark in the best way that we can. That's all I've got, Biscuit.
Awesome. Thank you, sir, for joining us. And again, for the group, 3 weeks till we gather together. For those that show up in person, be here in the DC area. I have the website up, e-mentoring or emilitary-mentoring.com to register. We ask, no need to wait. Whether you're going to be in person or virtual, go ahead and schedule that, and then that way we have a good sense of who's coming. But looking forward to seeing everyone. And any questions, certainly feel free to reach out.
Hey,
Okay.
hey, Biscuit. One thing I forgot to mention,
Yes,
my
sir.
mistake. Our keynote speaker for this year is the Honorable Harry Coker. And for those of you who don't know Harry, Harry has worked on presidential level administrations. He's a former intel officer for the Navy, and he's currently serving as the Secretary of Commerce for Governor Wes Moore in the state of Maryland. So we were really, really fortunate to be able to get on his schedule. But as a life member of NNOA, he carved out time for us. So I think that's going to be a phenomenal session with him during that luncheon period.
All right. So go ahead and register. Okay. So for the second part of today, what I'd like to do is kind of do a quick review. And towards the end of last year, we sent out a survey, and I have the results from that survey regarding content that you, the membership, were interested in, the Veterans Roundup in particular. So this is the third for the year, and we've already covered maximizing retirement VA benefits. And we had a brief from Heather from Navy Mutual. And then financial planning and estate management. We actually had, let's see, Will. He's actually going to talk at the summit, but he gave us a brief as well. So today we're going to cover technology for seniors, and specifically artificial intelligence. So what I'd like to do is have this be interactive, and I'll kind of guide the discussion. But if you have a computer, if you have a particular AI that you like to use, we'll talk about it. But again, this is meant to be a interactive vice, just a pure presentation. And then for the remaining, we have next roundup is September. So it's every other month. So, you can see there was interest in healthcare and TRICARE updates, lifelong learning. And so we have some topics teed up, but you can see where, as far as content that we're looking to cover for the remainder of the year. So again, if you have any questions, please chime in. Okay. So again, meant to be interactive. And as far as a scene setter, once upon a time, we had the brick. Yes, Tina.
Sir, before we get started, um, I've been noticing a lot of bad AI online, and what I mean on Facebook. What I mean by that is like the wrong picture of Admiral Fishburne. Somebody is gracious enough to put out information that they know about Admiral Fishburne, but it's the wrong photo. A lot of the information is not correct as far as how many black female admirals we have. You know, and I guess I want a statement. I want something from whoever's our senior technology person that when we see things like that, we say something and the proper way to clean that up. Because I think if it's bad information, it's harmful. I don't think it serves our organization or any of us to let that information slide. Just a thought.
I appreciate that. One of the challenges is there is so much information out there. Um, Even if it's in fact true, you have to be a little more discerning than maybe once upon a time, where you find that you question a lot more. But thank you for that. I guess as far to the extent that we can control it, obviously information that we have on our official sites, anyone that recognizes that, definitely we ask to get that corrected. Externally, it's a little more challenging. But thank you for that. So back to kind of the evolution. So before, encyclopedia or go to the Dewey Decimal Catalog in the library to look up information, along came the internet, and then, Google became a verb. And so you have a information request and you just put it in the Google, and then, out popped search. And so if you haven't realized it, or if you have, the next thing is AI, in that it's just a matter of time before Google searches are replaced by AI. And so to the extent that you're using it, the objective today is just to kind of optimize what's already out there. So a question for the group, and again, meant to be interactive. Um, who uses AI? What do you use? And then to the extent that you use it, can you share some of that? Anyone? Mike?
Yeah, sorry to need to come off of mute. No, I don't use AI at all. Um, I'm at this point just limited to hosting Zoom calls.
Okay.
Uh, some folks that I am working with within my community, I know they do a lot of AI stuff, but I don't.
Okay. Anyone else? I saw Chat GBT
Yeah,
in the
I
chat.
lost my yeah, I lost my mother in March, and Chat GPT really provided me with some resources of doing, putting all her photos together, obituaries, keeping family members across the country informed of what was happening, like daily emails and updates and everything. I don't know what I've done without it. I just didn't have that kind of administrative support from family members. So that was my go-to. But what I do know is that it it remembered everything I asked it to do from day one.
Okay. Thank you. Um, so yes, sir.
Yeah, I would like to say that I'm officially AI adjacent. My wife, as a published author, and she's got over 50 books, and she's written all of them. She didn't use AI to write the books, but what I've watched her do is figure out how to design covers for her books so that you're not paying, paid actors for headshots and pictures and things like that. And it's fascinating, just kind of watching her build the cover of a book with the hero and the heroine, and the right backdrop and the right pet on the cover and things like that. So it is a very, very, very powerful tools when you ask the right questions.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, sir. All right. So again, question, because it's meant to be interactive. I heard ChatGPT, other AIs that you guys use. If you want to come off mute, just shout out the name or put it in chat, the different types that you use. And then if you pay for it, that's another question. So what else is out there that you use? Anyone?
Sir, I paid for it while I needed it,
Okay.
because when you pay for it, you're going to get more. You get
Absolutely.
premium, okay? And then when I didn't need anymore, I canceled the subscription.
Yep. $20 a month. Same thing. Any other that you guys use? Anyone?
Yeah, I've used Copilot, and actually just to test it out last year, had a speaking engagement at a college somewhere in North Carolina, and just to test out their speech writing capabilities, I tried it out and actually had the speech printed out, got to the venue, and ended up not using the speech at all, because there ended up being a bunch of middle school kids there, and I had to make sure it was suitable for them, instead of telling sea stories. But the bottom line is that when asking the questions, it gave me plenty of content, in which I could have easily done I could have done a 20-minute speech or something like that, based on what was given. I'm not sure it would have been all that great or entertaining, but it would have been content filled.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm gonna kind of walk you through and tell you exactly what I did in preparation for today. Uh, Same prompt, and I used it on one, two, three different AIs, and one of which is Claude. So I heard ChatGPT, Gemini is tied to Google, Claude, and then you have Copilot. So Copilot is in the Microsoft suite. So again, depending on which one with the same prompt, you know, you'll see what we ended up getting. So this is Claude. To Tina's point, you can see here, this is the exact prompt that I put in for all of the different AI. So build a 5-slide PowerPoint brief on the basics of AI and what makes an ideal prompt for retired veterans. All right. So why do I share that with you verbatim is because that's actually not an ideal prompt. So let's go back to this. So this is a combination. This one was from Gemini. Okay, so that's Google. And we're actually going to do a little exercise. And then at the very bottom is the same product from Claude. And then the first one is from Copilot. No, this is Gemini. Okay, so this is Google and same prompt. And just, you know, very briefly, part of it was I wanted it to produce the brief PowerPoint. And so here was the output. So you'll see very similar in all of them, but you know, again, depending on what it is that you're looking for, different. So the biggest takeaway is because of the prompt, you can see here, this output was, hey, think of this like a capable, highly capable, tireless staff officer, you know, at your command. So it's a tool. It's a tool. And remember, we talked about, hey, I'm looking for some information. So I put it in Google and then start my search from the results that come out of that. So this is very similar in that a little bit more powerful because of the large language model and the learning that's taking place every day. So basically think of like crawlers scraping, even some of the admiral's wife's books, you know, some of that content. So, you know, part of it is depending on the quality of the prompt, will determine the results, which you still have to question. Because again, it's just a tool. And here, if you want to think about how do you currently use Google, and then going forward, if you know, find an AI that you like, how you want to use that. So part of it is this role. So if we're having a conversation, you know, what is the role that this tool that you want it to take on? Okay, so the more explicit and detailed you are, again, the better result. And then what is it that you want it to do? And then put some guidelines around it. In this case, I wanted to prepare a brief. And in all of these, I did it this morning. And what you see is the back and forth. And I haven't typed anything. I haven't manipulated anything. All I'm doing is presenting. And then what I wanted to point out was, depending on which one you use with the same prompt, you get different results. So sometimes it's good to use different AIs depending on what it is that you want to accomplish. Okay, so I know that there are better ones out there if we're trying to generate images, you know, pictures, audio, you know, like talk to text. So, and then for coding, Claude is probably superior. If you're in the Microsoft ecosystem, kind of like Apple, Copilot is good because it's all things Microsoft. And that's what we actually use at work. And I used it exclusively for preparing my mid-year review. And so you can see here, if you're vague, then you get generic versus being very specific. Okay. All right. So
Just a
now,
quick question,
yes, sir.
just Captain Francis. Just curious, are you able to generate output in one AI tool, export it, and then import it into a different AI tool? Are you
Yes.
able to combine
Yes.
outputs?
Yes. Yes.
Interesting.
So, like I said, this was actually the third one. So the first, all I did was, this was one. So slide number 2 through 6 was result from let me see, Copilot or Gemini, one of them. And then I just combined the brief. But so here's same prompt. And this one says, okay, it's just doing pattern recognition, not necessarily thinking about it. So, if you're not very specific or deliberate in your prompt, it's not like it's magic. And the training, but definitely the term is hallucinations, so it's fallible, um, and which is why you want to kind of always review. But similar to the first one, prompt, so think conversation, very specific. It goes out, does its thing, gives you a result, and then I got to move this so I can see. Then this is where we do the back and forth. So we're actually gonna go through an exercise, but ideal prompt. So, you know, what persona do you want it to take on? Any constraints? What is it that you want it to do? What exactly do you want the output to be? Do I want a brief? Do I want a speech? Do I want a Word document? Do I want bullets? Do I want a list or table? And be very specific. And you don't have to have it all in the first shot, right? Based on the results, you go back. You could even say, do it again, you know? Um, and that's where kind of like this loop, based on what you get, you put it back in the system. So again, just a week, think Google search. So, I put in uh, auto dealership versus I'm looking to buy, a new car or model year in this area for this price, dot, dot, dot. So being clear, and this is one of those things where the more you play with it, the easier it is to use that tool, right? So first time you pick up a drill, used to using screwdrivers, oh, it's drilling too fast, adjust the clutch, and now all of a sudden you're looking for work. Okay, looks like we got a question. All right. Then, okay, so now this is, again, same prompt and different result. So in each case, everything that I've showed you, I used the exact same prompt that I showed you first from Claude, and I put it in the 3 different AIs, and this was the output. So as you can see, it created this fancy brief. I didn't even say colors. In one of them, I said, hey, I want imagery. So again, defining the task. And what's nice is you'd be amazed how quickly some of the search results come back. And then you can actually create what they call agents if you're doing repetitive tasks. And that's kind of next level. But so ideal prompt, again, what's the role? What's the task? Context. So as we're finishing, I'm going to ask somebody to think about something you want to look up or give me a prompt, and we're going to just we're going to go live here. So example, weak prompts, strong prompts. And then we're just going to kind of do the exercise with the time remaining and obviously answer any questions that you might have. So that one, it's not intimidating. It's already in use, whether you realize it or not. And to the extent that, you have this power in your hand, currently in your phone, on your computer, depending on which one you are comfortable with, prefer. And then like Tina said, we don't have unlimited funds, but definitely recommended a paid subscription if you use it quite a bit in order to maximize the capability. So let me just pause for a second. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Okay, so I have right now, this is Claude. This is ChatGPT. And this is Gemini. So if you look and you see pretty much all very similar, if not the same. So question, which one do you want to use and who wants to take this for a test drive? What do we want to do? What are we looking for? What do we need? We want a hotel reservation for the summit.
No, we want a nightlife itinerary outside the summit hours.
Okay,
I,
so
I'm in town for 3 days.
well, what is the persona that you want to the AI to take on? Like for example, you are my what? Assistant?
I'm your
Travel
assistant. Yes,
agent?
I could be that. I could be a travel agent
Okay. No, this is the AI. All right, so you are my travel agent, and I'll be in town in
from the,
Arlington, Virginia.
yes, from the
What dates?
29th of July through August 2nd.
Okay.
And I want you to include military events like the sunset parades and things like that.
Well, okay. So now, first of all, this is the agent, right? Travel agent. You're going to be in town. What do you want the agent to do? You
I
want a
want the
hotel
agent.
room? You want,
I have actually I do have a hotel room already.
no, no, no. What do you want the agent to do for you?
Okay. Find a hotel
Okay.
close,
One or five.
find give me three options
Okay. Find three hotels.
near the Navy League area,
Okay.
with the continental breakfast.
Three hotels with breakfast. Uh, Near the Navy League headquarters. We could even put within a certain distance, but we'll just stick with that. Um, Three hotels. We got a price under $200.
Okay, under 200. How about a AARP discount?
Okay.
Veterans or AARP discount? I'm just being a little specific here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're a travel agent, you're gonna be in town, you wanted to find three hotels near with a discount and anything else?
It's continental breakfast.
Okay, so let's see. Let's see how long this takes. Okay, so there's the Hyatt. Came back with the address, price, a little rating, Hampton Inn, days in. And then this is where kind of like a loop, right? Um, does it include parking? You know, or what is their parking rate? So this would be if you were have a conversation, and you see the microphone here, so I could actually talk instead of type. Um, let's see, what is the parking rate? And then, create a day by day itinerary. So parking fees for the three. If we didn't like it, we could say, no, I need to expand 10 miles. Okay, so on the 29th, when you get here, you want entertainment?
Yes, I want entertainment
Okay,
after 5 p.m.
include entertainment after 5 p.m. And what else? And casual dress code. So it should redo the itinerary. And, so let's say that, all right, this works. I got everything I need. So you can copy it to your point and then paste it somewhere. Or let's take the same prompt. So it gave us these three hotels. All right. And let's see what Claude does for us. So remember, same prompt, different AI. And, as far as the front facing, instead of the spinning hourglass, it's kind of walking you through what it's doing. Has anybody used AI like this before, or do you want to see something different? Do you find this helpful?
Yeah, I think it's extremely helpful, and I appreciate Tina asking the question. I was personally trying to figure out how I'm going to get to the Washington D.C. area next week for Mo Foster's change of command, then come back the following week to Norfolk for Captain Winalgham's change of command, and then come back the following week after that for the summit. So I think I'm going to plug all that into AI and
Well,
pretend
you
it's
could,
my flag lieutenant.
so just like you said it, you could hit record and dictate. So here's again, same prompt, different AI. It gave us what is this? Hyatt Place, Residence Inn, and the Clarion. So different hotels, right? This one gave us a map. There's three hotels, map, and okay, so let's do this. Allow while visiting the site. So create an itinerary and include dining and entertainment options after 5 p.m. And you have this on your phone as well. So I just dictated instead of typed. And while this is doing its thing, um, we talked about it at the summit last year. Because these are learning, if you don't want it to use your information as part of the learning, then you need to go into the settings and basically opt out because it's going to opt in. It's going to take everything that you have and you're going to become part of the board. If if you don't want that to happen, then so here's 5 days, 4 nights, and there's your itinerary at least to start with. And you got addresses. So I've actually been to this restaurant. It's very good. Ambar. It's like Lebanese. And then there's some entertainment. You want a little rooftop. So, that's just a quick, two different, basically same input, different results. And if you wanted to kind of cross-reference, but you can see how if you just stick with one, then that's what you get. But if you're using different, and then comparing, contrasting, there's always a sweet spot. Okay, what other questions are burning that you want to ask? There's Chat GPT. This is probably one everyone's familiar with. And to Tina's point, I used to pay for it. I don't anymore. Definitely if you pay for it, you get a more powerful model. But first one didn't have a map. The last two, not only did it give us a map, we got stars for rating, and then a little different format. And then it gives you some suggestions. So let's stop right there. Do we want to do another one or something completely different? Off the wall?
Captain, consider doing something where it shows that it's only as good as the information that is given. If you say, um, make a flyer of um, female admirals in the United States Navy and see if it comes up with, if you more specific say black female admirals, see the pictures that it comes up with, and how it could be dangerous, how we really have to pay attention to what we're doing.
We want female admirals or black female admirals?
We could say black female admirals, you could say black SWO admirals, you could just, but I just want uh, people to be aware of there's not a lot of people of color information in any of these platforms right now because the programmers don't look like us. Their information is not very accurate.
So part of this is, where it's getting its information from. So it looks like there's only 4. Is that correct?
No, there's 5.
Okay.
There's
So
there's the one who's in intelligence before Tracy Hines. I'll get you her name in just a minute.
well, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna see what the different results are.
Okay.
See if So this was Chat GPT, first search. And then we'll do Gemini. And then let's see what. So we got 1, 2, 3. Oh, it's looking through Wikipedia. So it looks like the same image. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But they're not even. They're black images, but are the names even correct?
No, they're not.
Right. So, and let's see here.
I've corrected some of them by putting a picture with the name in it. And I don't know if they considered me a subject matter expert and verifying my information or not. But I did correct Admiral Fishburne several times on a couple of the platforms.
So one of them, the result was 4. This one looks like it's 3. And then Gemini, which is supposed to be Google, was inaccurate. So there's one. So there's your flyer, right? Um, and it's only showing 3 images. So,
Yeah, and that's possibly due to the fact that Tracy was just elected a couple of years ago, and she's still on active duty. Um,
mhm,
but the other thing, Tina, you bring up a great point. Who actually QAs the information that's on the internet or produced by AI. The other thing that we don't know is how do different people identify. If you're Hispanic, as opposed to just regular African American, like me, they may say that, and that may be what the system is queuing on as well. So those kind of details, we just don't know them.
yeah. So anyway, there's just a quick, we did 2, one practical. Hey, I'm going to this place during this time frame. I need to stay, in the vicinity of, and I need something to do. And so boom, there's my agenda, itinerary, and you can start there. I could put, hey, I'm a Marriott rewards, so I only want to look at these hotels.
That's
And
great.
then
Okay, I'm a topic shift on you. I'm a veteran service officer for DAV. And so a lot of people are coming to me with issues like they've never applied for disability benefits before and they're in
mhm,
their 70s and 80s and now they want to apply for them. So
right.
I have them, I recommend, okay, let's go to Chat GPT and ask them to what's a good, whatever their disability is, whatever they're trying to get disability for. I ask them to go ask the question, what is the best write up for this particular issue? What is a compelling statement
Hmm.
before you go sit down with and file a claim? It has a lot of information for disability claims in there. You
But
know,
as
but
we saw, depending on which one you use, it could be wildly inaccurate, uh,
yes,
or spot on. So
exactly.
it's
So
important.
to take it with a grain of salt,
Well, you
and
definitely
you
want
have to
to,
review it. You have to review it.
you
It
definitely
cannot
want
stand
to,
alone.
yeah, QA. I mean, that's the takeaway is quality assurance. Garbage in is garbage out. The more detail you prompt, what is it that you're looking for? What do you want it to do? If it's speech writer, here's the speech, and you're like, oh, the tone, I want a different tone. Um, and but yeah, you definitely want to make sure I use it as basically a straw man, so using some of the agents to go and do research and then give me a framework and then I take it from there. So I found it to be helpful in almost, even though I was never a flag, right? It would be my flag A. Hey, go do this and come back with, these 5 things. And I'll take it from there. So that's all I had for this evening. Hopefully, you found it helpful. Like I said, there's plenty out there, and every day, it's getting the technology is that Boyle's law, right? Where, speed at which technology is advancing. Um, so the takeaway is once upon a time, I wanted to find out something. So I did a Google search, right? To the point where Google became a verb. And so now, um, and this is where kind of, since we didn't grow up with a cell phone, right? So I know nothing. The advanced search now is using AI instead of Google, right? And so the prompt engineering, that's probably something that you can kind of keep refining and then definitely have a few in your hip pocket to use and then compare and contrast just to make sure. But certainly you want to QA. All right, let's go around the horn for any save rounds. Tina, your hand's up. Looks like,
Y- Yes, sir. I'm a topic shift on you. Um, eh, you've been to a sunset parade at the Marine Corps Barracks, Eighth
yes,
and I. It's
yes,
awesome, isn't it?
yes.
Well, they have one there 31st of July.
Well, we have our reception.
Right. What time's the reception over?
Usually that goes into the evening, right? Through sunset.
Yeah, it starts at
Yeah.
1800, and we
Okay.
should be wrapping up by about 2000 or so.
Okay. So that's a non-starter. Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
And I think the sunset parade, I don't know if that's get tickets, but
You do get tickets.
yeah.
There's one on Wednesday night and one on Friday nights. But I just wanted to throw that in case somebody else, asked you about it.
Yeah, I think Tuesday nights, Iwo Jima Memorial, Wednesday on the base at the Joint Base Meyer Henderson Hall, and then Friday at 8th and I to the summit. All right. So I'm all about starting on time and ending on time. So I got 2000. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you on 10 September, unless you want to join the transition assistance team. So
Hey, actually, we'll see you all at the summit because I know you're going to
yes,
be
oh
there.
yes, that's at the summit.
No pressure.
All right, everybody have a great evening.
Stay
Take
Thanks.
care.
hydrated. Stay hydrated. Stay safe.
Yeah,
Yes.
Biscuit,
Night,
that was
everyone.
excellent session, Biscuit.
Good
Excellent
night.
Good
This
night.
was
Good
great.
night. Good night,
All
all.
right.
Thank you.
Good night, all.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Yeah, we can have the recording. I don't know where we want to put it, but have it available.